What if the strongest was no longer the strongest? Imagine Gojo Satoru, but stripped of his cursed energy, the 6 eyes, and the limitless. He's just a man, an unusually sharp and agile high school teacher in a world just like ours. This is the story of how that man walked into a simple urban legend and found a horror that no cursed technique could ever exorcise. Our story begins in a bustling, ordinary Tokyo. Gojo Satoru is the teacher every student talks about, brilliant, a bit eccentric, and perpetually laid back. He's the kind of guy who seems to float through life, unbothered and untouchable. One afternoon, a mischievous student, fueled by youthful bravado, dares him. "Sensei," they say, "I bet you won't investigate the endless alley of Shinjuku. The legend is a classic piece of local spook lore. Find a specific run-down alleyway. Enter at precisely midnight. Walk to the end, turn around, and spit 3 times. The story goes that if you do this, you'll be trapped in an endless nightmare, forced to relive the same terrifying moments forever, with no escape." Gojo, a man of logic and reason, just laughs. A prank? A ghost story? He's in. It sounds like a fun way to kill a Tuesday night. That evening, under a moonless sky, Gojo arrives at the mouth of the alley. It's exactly as described: narrow, suffocatingly dark, and draped in an eerie silence that seems to swallow the city's hum. With a smirk, he checks his watch. Midnight. He strolls in, hands in his pockets, his footsteps the only sound. He follows the silly instructions, reaches the dead end, turns, and does the ridiculous ritual. Nothing happens. Of course. Kids these days, he mutters, turning to leave. But as he walks back, a profound, jarring sense of déjà vu washes over him. The entrance to the alley, it looks wrong. Subtly different, yet undeniably altered. He steps out onto the street, expecting the familiar glow of the city, and finds himself standing right back at the beginning of the alley, the entrance looming before him once more. Confusion gives way to irritation. A trick? A prank by his students? He huffs a laugh and walks through again. This time, he pays closer attention. Halfway down, his eyes catch a specific graffiti tag on the brick wall, a distorted, screaming face. A moment later, a faint, metallic scream echoes from somewhere far away. Then, out of the corner of his eye, he sees it. A dark, humanoid shape darting across a rooftop high above. He reaches the end, steps out, and once again, he's back at the start. The loop has begun. Gojo's sharp mind pieces it together faster than most would. This isn't a prank. He is trapped. He's a rat in a maze, and the walls are closing in. His laid-back demeanor evaporates, replaced by cold, focused analysis. He tries to break the pattern. He sprints through the alley, hoping to outrun the reset. He shouts into the oppressive silence, trying to shatter the illusion. He tries climbing the walls, looking for an alternative exit. But every attempt ends the same way, back at the entrance, with the city lights just out of reach. Each loop, the horror intensifies. The graffiti on the wall seems to shift, the screaming face's eyes now wider, more agonized. The distant scream gets closer, clearer, filled with palpable terror. The shadowy figure on the rooftop, it's no longer just a silhouette. He can make out long, twisted limbs and a featureless head that tilts as if observing him. The psychological toll mounts. He starts finding things in the alley's grimy corners. A wallet with an old family photo. A cracked smartphone, its screen frozen on a desperate, unsent text message. These aren't props. They are the ghosts of others who walked this path, a chilling confirmation that he is not the first. The legend is real, and it has claimed victims. The urban legend isn't just a story. It's a living, breathing entity. A phenomenon born from belief. A pocket dimension that feeds on the fear and despair of those it ensnares. It forces its victims to relive personalized nightmares, twisting their own fears against them until their will shatters. Once broken, they are assimilated into the loop's fabric, becoming just another part of the scenery, another distorted scream, another piece of unsettling graffiti, another forgotten soul. The shadowy figure? That's the entity itself, the keeper of this prison, growing stronger with every new spirit it consumes. Gojo's unparalleled confidence, the very core of his being, begins to fracture. The loop isn't just repeating events anymore. It's digging into his mind. He sees visions of his students in peril, their faces twisted in fear. He relives his own hidden moments of failure and helplessness, magnified into suffocating nightmares. The constant repetition grinds at his sanity. He realizes brute force, speed, and logic are useless here. This isn't a puzzle to be solved, but a predator to be outsmarted. He's being hunted, and the entity is learning his every move, adapting its torture with each cycle. It wants him to break. It wants him to give in to despair. But Gojo Satoru does not break. He is pushed to the absolute brink, his mind screaming, his body exhausted. But in that abyss of fear, his intellect shines brightest. He stops trying to escape the loop and starts trying to break its rules. The entity expects fear. It expects a fight. It expects him to follow the path. So he does the opposite. Instead of running from the scream, he runs toward its source. Instead of recoiling from the shadowy figure, he stands his ground and stares it down. He has to introduce chaos, an element the system cannot predict or control. He has to find the core trigger, the anchor that holds this nightmare together. During one desperate loop, as the entity lunges at him, no longer a shadow, but a grotesque physical thing, Gojo does something unthinkable. He doesn't fight back. He doesn't dodge. He simply stops. He closes his eyes and focuses not on his fear, but on a single powerful, grounding memory from the outside world, the laughter of his students, the warmth of the sun, the taste of a sweet dessert. He accepts the attack, offering no resistance, no fear for the entity to feed on. He introduces an emotional paradox, absolute stillness in the face of absolute terror. The impact never comes. There is a deafening shriek, not of a victim, but of the entity itself. The world dissolves into a blinding white light. Gojo Satoru stumbles out of the alley, collapsing onto the pavement. The world is unnervingly quiet. He looks up. The sun is rising, painting the Tokyo sky in hues of orange and pink. The alley behind him looks ordinary, innocent, just another forgotten urban space. There's no physical proof of what happened, no scratches, no wounds. But the man who walked out is not the same one who walked in. His usual playful smirk is gone, replaced by a deep, hollow exhaustion. He looks at the alley, then down at his own hands, which are trembling uncontrollably. For the first time, Gojo Satoru, the invincible teacher, looks vulnerable. He has survived the nightmare, but he has learned a terrifying lesson. Some horrors don't need curses or monsters to be real. Sometimes a simple story is all it takes to create a hell you can never truly escape, and he will carry the scars of that hell forever. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy stories that explore the darker, unseen corners of our world, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Let us know in the comments what other urban legends you'd like to see get this kind of deep dive. Until next time, stay curious, and maybe think twice before accepting a dare.